I have a Port Jackson fig that is producing some long runs. Up here you can see reverse taper, just because the area is getting too clustered. I have another tree outside that I'm going to do the same thing with. These runs are too long. I've got a little tip here that has grown, so I might cut him back there and start training this as a side branch. By cutting, I'll get more tips. There's a tip there. If you can see this little tip. Up here, I've got little tips. New tip here. So all around this thing, it's done all right, but I expect better. I'm going to do a chop on this thing. Obviously, we've had a bit of a cold snap, and this is what happens. The tree pulls the nutrients back out of the leaf, back in to support the tree's health. I'm going to do a repot of this little Port Jackson fig, but that'll happen probably tomorrow or the next day. Right now, I think I'm going to reduce its height and bring it in and probably just leave one leaf on. I might even do some wiring. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but this is my first branch. I'm going to shorten him up. Over here, I've got a tip there. Done. That's one branch done, and all I need to do really is wire this into a pad and start getting it to back bud. So that's the first branch. I originally bent this tree with a bit of wire, and it was right here that as I pulled down, this snapped. So I wanted to pull it down a bit more and it just broke, so I wired it back up and it's healed. So you can see that's a healing scar from where I snapped this and it regrew. So I got lucky in that respect. Anyway, let's get around this side. It's going to be a very quick video. I'm going to take that in there. This guy, I can shorten him up. I'll just leave one leaf on. And I can wire this into a pad out here. I've got this guy tucked in the back here. I could potentially leave him on if I want to chop all this and get rid of it. It sort of comes at the front of the tree and out. I could just take that off completely, but then I've got nothing on this tree for balance. I've got a little shoot down here, but for it to catch up to the heaviness of this, I think I'll just leave this on for now and just see what happens with that front branch. Now, this has come forward towards the viewer and it's quite strong. I could take this as the new leader and cancel that one out. Going off the back, I have a back branch here. Let's move that out of the way. A back branch here, a back branch here, a back branch here. So what I've got here is a potential for reverse taper. I've got three things coming out of one. And then as you look up here, I've got new tips. So if I was to shorten him down, without going too drastic and making mistakes, I could go bang there. Now, do I want to change this? Because this is pretty hideous looking. And I've got tips here. Bring him down to height gradually and see how it suits the tree. I could cut this there and train this as well. I'll get ramification because it is quite leggy. Or I could use this as another side branch. Because it's throwing out this tip, I could just lose this completely and bring it right back. So I'm pretty happy to do that. I know this bit out the back here is a bit, how's it going? But there, look at that. I've got a tip there. It's the start of ramification. And this guy out the back, I could potentially just knock him back like that. So this tree is producing a lot of sap still. It's still quite warm. Today was 31 degrees. I don't like this growing up into that branch. So I might consider losing that to shorten that up. I'll bring that back in there. So I've shortened that up as well. Shit, I chopped apart that leaf. That's okay, not the end of the world. I could leave that tip on. So I could train this. I don't know if I can roll that over. It's probably a lot of twisting to be done to bring this down. However, being soft bark, I could do that. This bit here draws my eye. It looks really thick because there's 3 in 1. So from the front, you don't really see it too much. I'm going to move that leaf out of the road. I really feel that that's out of control. All right, we're coming back to where it's... There you go, she's shortened. I'll shorten this guy too. Leave that guy to strengthen, but he's coming out a bad spot, so maybe just see you later. So all right, so that's a bit of a hard cut back. Oh, I've got a little tip growing out of a fork, so I'm just gonna look out. It's very tight. There we go. So I wonder if I roll that down, train this out, because originally I put some heavy wire on that and just snapped it. You can see the bark peeling. That'll eventually heal out. This looks like it's too close. I can keep this on, probably get rid of that. I don't really want it in there, so make a decision now before it starts forming a knot. Got a little tip here. I probably don't want him. Got a little tip there. I'll leave them on just to let them grow, I think. I don't know about this. If I can just roll that over. Maybe I can put some wire on and just see how it looks trained up. So these two, I'll put some shape on them. So wire here. It's going to come over the top. There are a couple of tips on this guy that are going to throw out. As soon as I've done that cut, all right, so that can be the start of a pad. I could probably lose this front one and just go off this one. Yeah, that back branch, I would love to wire this down to pull some twist on it. All right, let's get a heavier bit of wire. I don't really need a lot of wire, it's just a shorty. I wonder if that's going to be heavy enough. If not, I'll have to try again. So I'm just going to anchor that down on this branch, come up through that gap. I probably should have gone the other way when I rolled the wire. But let's see if I can roll it back the other way. Because I've gone the opposite way of which way I wanted to run the wire. And that's bad because it just caused my wire to loosen. So let's pull this down just to give it the right angle. Anyway, you get the idea. Let's pull that over there. If I put too much pressure on that little branch, it'll die. It's one of my concerns. But I still want him to roll over. Yeah, I should wire it the other way. Looks terrible. Let's do it properly. I should be going in the direction that I want to roll it. So, take 2. So that way, lock it in there, go through the gap, go the direction of the roll. This is better. Until I knew halfway through it that I was doing it wrong. But that's how you guys are going to critique it. They're going to go, well, you don't know how to wire to save your life. Okay, so as I pull in, that wire bites harder. So I'm just going to leave the end of this holding that tip sideways like that. Maybe I'll wire him later. For now, just leave it like that. Alright, how's that looking now? This looks really long, but it'll back bud. That's my back branch. I could possibly flex him this way a little bit to fill the gap. And I want back budding here because this is sticking out of proportion to the back. It's one of those things. I could probably just lop it off completely because I've got a back branch, back branch, back branch, forward, that side, this side. At the moment I didn't want to dock this because this could produce a nice new apex and I could chop this off and get rid of it. Because it looks leggy, I'd be happy to do that. So these are the steps in the right direction. It's just a matter of cutting that, and this is going to roll forward. So from here, I could do anything with the direction, but yeah, that's one of probably 3 trees that I need to do this to, and then do a repot. The soil that's in at the moment is just the Bunnings cheap shit, and you always get weeds growing in it. There's always this stuff, whatever that stuff is, junk. So I'm all done. I'll repot this tomorrow, put in another pot, or keep it in this pot because I really want the root base to grow. Better the roots grow, the better, the vigor is going to be up top. That's what I'm thinking. Something I want to see improve because this is a tree that went into the glass house and it came out and it provided new shoots, which is great, but I want this cut to see how much tipping it's going to produce because this is really bad. There's no ramification there. There's no ramification here. I've got 3 tips, 1, 2, 3. I got this here. So I could chop that and keep this, or chop down here. Everywhere else I've got potentials. At least I've got a fork on this. I just need this to back bud and get a bit denser here. And yeah, leave something can back bud down here. Maybe I can reduce this height down, back down here. So I've got a little tip there that I'll keep for now. But yeah, look, I got lots of trees that are in multiple stages in their development, and if I don't do anything with it, it's not going to progress. So that's why I pick up the cutters and chop into it. That's what happens with the cold snap. So this week we got up to 38 degrees and then drops back down to 26. So the weather's quite random at the moment. I wonder if I should try and flex that down a little bit. Yeah, all right. Well, don't want to bore you. That's it. Another Port Jackson fig. That was a fig I bought many years ago down at Canberra Bonsai. Probably bought it for $100. Put it in a pot. But yeah, I'm going to work on the roots, change this crappy soil, and we'll see how he progresses in the next season. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.